The man who asked me to replace my husband. Have you ever been asked a question so unexpected? It made your heart stop for a moment. I never imagined I would live through the kind of silence that follows losing a husband. It's the kind of silence that sits in every room, in every corner, in every breath you take. Some days, I still wake up expecting to hear his voice, or smell his cologne, or feel the bed shift when he gets up before me. But life moved on, even when I didn't feel ready to. It had been a year since I buried Daniel, my husband, my quiet protector, my friend. Some days felt normal, most days didn't. Then came that day. I was in the living room, folding clothes absent-mindedly, when I heard a soft knock on my door. When I opened it, there stood Michael, Daniel's closest friend. He looked nervous, hands in his pockets, eyes shifting everywhere except mine. "Hi, Emma," he murmured. I forced a small smile. "Hey, come in." We hadn't seen each other much since the funeral. I assumed it was because seeing me reminded him of Daniel, just like seeing him reminded me. We sat quietly for a few minutes. He kept tapping his fingers on his knee, like there was something he wanted to say but couldn't find the strength to. Finally, he cleared his throat. "Emma, can I ask you something?" I nodded, expecting a question about old photos, or maybe help organizing Daniel's belongings. But what came out of his mouth sent a shock straight through me. "I want to marry you." I froze. I thought I heard wrong. I blinked. He kept staring at me, waiting for a response. My heart started pounding so loud I could hear it. "Marry me," I whispered more to myself than to him. "Michael, what are you saying?" He leaned forward. "I've loved you for a long time, even before Daniel passed. I didn't say anything because he was my friend. But now I want to take care of you. I want to be in your life. You don't deserve to be alone." I felt the room tilt slightly. Every memory of Daniel flashed through my head. His laugh, his hugs, his plans for our future, the promises we made. And then hearing his best friend say he wanted to replace him. It felt like the ground beneath me cracked. I swallowed hard. "Michael, do you hear yourself? Daniel trusted you. He loved you like a brother. And you were looking at me like this the whole time." He looked down, ashamed. "I didn't want to. It just happened." My voice trembled. "You should have left it unsaid." The pain in my chest felt like a fresh wound opening. I stood up. "Michael, I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying anyone. I'm still grieving the man I loved." He looked hurt, but he nodded slowly. "I understand." He stood up too, hesitated for a moment like he wanted to touch my hand, then buried his hands back into his pockets. Before he stepped out, he turned back. "Emma, I didn't mean to disrespect Daniel. I wanted a chance." I shook my head. "Some chances shouldn't be taken." He left quietly. And when the door finally clicked shut, I sank to the floor and let myself cry. Not just for Daniel, not just for Michael's question, but because I realized how fragile life becomes after loss. When you lose someone you love, the world expects you to heal. But sometimes, people forget that the heart has its own timeline. I'm not sure when, or if, I'll be ready to love again. But I know one thing. I will never let anyone force me to replace what I have lost. Because some love stories don't end when one person is gone. They simply live differently inside us.